3.3, Basic HTML Elements, Part 3. In this little part, I want to talk about a very important HTML element, table element. Yeah. All right, so the whole video, we just studied one important element, HTML tables. Yeah. All right, first, let's look at the description of HTML tables. HTML tables allow web developers to arrange data into rows and columns. So look at the main usage of this element. Arrange data in rows and columns. So you can imagine how important it is, right? It is very useful. From this description, you can already see it is very useful. Yeah. All right, first, how to use it? Yeah. Just use the tag table. Yeah. Straightforward, table. All right. Then, under the table element, you need to organize your data row by row, then each row column by column. That structure you need to specify in this element. Yeah. All right, so here, let's look at simple example. Yeah. In this example, so you have table element, right? You put the content of the table inside this table element. Then inside it, you need to have rows. You need to define all the rows, right? So row 1, row 2, and a row 3, and a row 4, all right? Yeah. Each row, column 1, column 2, column 3, right? 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay? Yeah. Very obvious the way you arrange your data in this straightforward way. Yeah. All right. In order to define a row, you need to use tr tag, table row, right? Tr tag. Yeah. All right. Then another special element, in order to define table header. Table header, sometimes you put, title header, yeah, th tag. So here, first name, last name, that's age, that's the table header, right? Yeah. So th, yeah. Yeah. Here you can see this way. Table header, boldface, yeah, to make it look different from other elements. Yeah. Then table data or cell, table data, table cell, we use TD element. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. So in this way, so you can see, yeah, you can easily define a table. But you need to be very careful. Because you can see you need to type a lot of things, yeah, in this way. Yeah. All right. Next, let's study some basic properties. Yeah. First, by default, the text in th elements are bold and centered. Centered. Yeah. So what do you mean centered? Yeah. Because in one table cell, you have certain amount of space. Yeah. The browser knows how to allocate the space to each element. Then, when you put a table header text by default, but you can change later if you don't like that way, you can change. But by default, it is centered. Table header is centered. If you have more space. Yeah. All right. By default, the text in TD elements are regular, not boldface, that's regular, text style, right? Yeah. And left aligned. Yeah, aligned to the left. Yeah, aligned to the left. Right. So that's the non-header table cell. Right. Aligned to the left. If you have more space, align to the left by default. Now you can change. Now, if you want to make it centered, then you need to add a special attribute to make it centered. Yeah. All right. The TD elements are the data container of the table. Do you know the data container of the table? You know the container, right? You can put other elements in this container. Other elements in this container. Okay? Here we say data. What do you mean data? Right? Everything is data, right? Everything is data. Data contains, whatever we put there, we call it data, right? Yeah. So data container. You can put data in each cell. Yeah. Why I emphasize this property a lot? Because you can use this property to a very important feature you may need to do. Yeah. Arrange elements. Arrange many elements. Okay? Yeah. Why it's so important, right? Arrange elements. Why it's so important? Because you can do a very important feature, layout. You can design your page. When you design your page, you need some special layout, right? Yeah. Although this layout way, I will make a lot of discussion on that. Yeah. Because there is some advantage, disadvantage related to this layout thing. Yeah. I need to make a lot of comments on this layout thing. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's look at the, some special ways to use table. Yeah. Spanning cells. Yeah. Sometimes we need to do this special feature, spanning cells. All right. Cell that span many columns. Sometimes we need it. Okay. Yeah. So the table element allows you to do that. Yeah. To make a cell span more than one column. Yeah. So sometimes you need that more than one column. So you can use the co-span attribute. The name of attribute, co-span, column span, co-span, attribute name. Yeah. Let's look at a simple example of this one. Yeah. In this example, this element, we use co-span attribute. Span two columns, the value two columns. Yeah. So you can see in a regular row, you have 1, 2, 3 columns, right? But this row is special. Now, so this row, the first column is normal, but the second column spans 2 column space. Yeah. So the second one with this co-span attribute value 2, so basically you use it occupy 2, 3, column 2, column original column 2, column 3 space. Yeah. So what do you see like this? See? Yeah. Span original column 2, column 3. Okay? Try to understand the logic so then you can use it. Okay? All right. Yeah. All right. Cell that span many rows. Yeah. All right. By the same logic or similar logic, you can do the same thing on rows. But this time, you use this attribute, row span. Same logic? Yeah. All right. So look at simple example. Yeah. In this example, this row, think about this time, we're targeting one row. This row, this time, row span 2. Row span, this element occupies original 2 row space. Space for 2 rows. All right? Yeah. So you can imagine. Yeah. All right. So think about that. Yeah. Think about that. But when you span 2 rows, then it impact the row following it. Yeah, because this row following that row. You already use up the space of the next row, right? So your next row, you can see, one space missing, one table cell space missing, because it is occupied by the previous row. All right? Yeah. Try to imagine that. Yeah. All right. So this is the result. Yeah. Row 2, row 3. Yeah. All right. So row 2, row 3. Yeah. Here you can see row 2, row 3, right? Yeah. Yeah. Row 1, row 2, row 3, right? Yeah. Occupies row 2, row 3. Then your third row, you have to, you cannot use the space already occupied, right? So this is the space already occupied. You have to skip it. You have to skip one cell in the following row. Yeah. Try to understand the logic. Okay. Here, the logic of this row span case similar to that of the column case, but probably a little harder to understand. Yeah. Try to get used to this way. Yeah. All right. So with these 2 ways, column span way, row span way, so you can see we have more flexibility to use our tables in some creative way, in some pretty creative way. So think about that. All right. So after this video, B.3, so we complete the part B of module 2. Yeah. As I told you before, now we are ready for our first programming assignment. Yeah. So actually, we can call programming. Yeah. Programming assignment. You need to write the code, but actually, what do? You practice the basic HTML features. Yeah. All right. Although we haven't learned many features at this point, we just learned some very basic features. Yeah. But here to practice those basic features, I think I can pretty much create 5 simple questions. 5, yeah, because each question very simple. So I may like to create 5 simple features in our first programming assignment. Question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. All right. So then I will post as soon as possible. Yeah. Today or tomorrow, as soon as possible. Yeah. So then you can start to work on it. That's our group. Yeah. So here I call the group. not you work as a group. You work independently. The group means I group those 5 questions, cluster or set, whatever you like to call, yeah, that set of questions. So probably I call set, so you do not get confusion. So it's not group project, okay? It's not group project. It's individual project, yeah. Because I want each one to do the practice. Now, in group way, some of you may not need to do anything, right? I don't like that way. Yeah, each of you has to do by your own. Yeah. All right, so let me stop right here. Yeah. I can still continue to move to the new parts, but we have enough material to do our first programming assignment. All right, so let me stop here. Yeah.